When I was a kid, my dad walked us into a friend of ours who was a college professor, and I was like maybe 13, 14 years old. He was like, "Tell me, young man, you like comic books?" And I said, I like to read comics. And he handed me the copy of The Killing Joke.
Said you like a grown man naked?
Yeah. Next thing I knew, I was in the shower, being bent over, and that man was Joe Paterno.
That's what Batman says to Joker. He goes, maybe it's just you, and that's when Joker snaps. Because this whole kind of tit for tat of, like, in The Dark Knight, Joker saying, you and I are destined to do this forever.
You're garbage, you kill for money.
Don't talk like you're one of them. You're not. You're way hotter. I wanna cover you in applesauce and lick it off your nipples. Yes.
Peanut butter.
Yes, peanut butter.
You're my dog.
Yes.
He did kill 4 dogs in The Dark Knight. Just point that out.
Yeah.
He did kill 4 dogs. He killed 4.
4.
4. He killed 4 dogs.
That's why we bring cats.
They have 9 lives.
The Haitians?
Yeah, he did kill 4 dogs. I'm just gonna point that out. He didn't
That's
kill a
why we
person.
throw cats off roof.
They
got
always
9
that's why
lives.
cats land on feet.
It would be funny if
funny
the
was
judge
both-
just showed up with
with
4
cats.
cats.
They wouldn't land on their feet like you. Feet. How about I cut you up in a little meow mix? Then we'll see how hungry really is. It's not about the money. It's about who's a good little guy.
We're going to get you, Frank.
We're gonna get you with little suckers here, Frankie boy.
Where?
You can run.
Joker's origin. I'm trying to remember
Joker's
where we were.
origin.
Yeah.
He was shacking up here. Could never tell the joke. To
What
save
is the
his
origin?
life.
So yeah, no, you brought up before why I
Why
think.
should you trust old Jackie boy?
Well, because I think Joker went through so much trauma, and
He doesn't say which particular drama he went through in this book, though,
Well,
right?
well, we see the story.
His wife died.
Well, the
allegedly.
wife thing, yeah.
Allegedly.
The wife thing, the black and white throwback thing, where the shrimp is always in color, which
Yeah.
is interesting to me.
The what is?
The shrimp.
Oh, the
that they're
shrimp one.
eating.
Oh yeah, the crawfish.
Yeah,
same color as the hood.
they're
Yeah,
always
oh,
eating that. Wait, why?
Same color as the
Yo.
hood. The red hood.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the only color. And then it turns. Then you get color at the end when he comes out of the chemicals. And
Frank Miller does that in Sin City too. It's
Yeah.
black and white, but the blood's in
Yeah,
red.
they do. It's Spielberg
Well,
does it in
Schindler's
Schindler's
List.
List.
I've never seen it.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say you've
little
never
girl
seen
in
it.
red.
I wouldn't watch
Lady
it.
in red.
Lady in red. No.
She might
No.
be a Nazi. We don't know.
No
what
spoilers.
other color
Oh, what are the
she'll
spoilers? Oh yeah,
wear.
6 million of my people were murdered.
I think Batman's inclusion of this is a little too specific for it to be what happened. Like he's trying to make Batman feel.
Oh
bad.
yeah, I think something definitely happened to him. I love the Joker when there isn't a definitive answer.
Yeah, he's like, it could have been this, it could have been that.
He's just some
Baba
guy
de
that
bibby de bee.
he's
Yeah.
exactly he's some
could
guy.
be Italian,
yeah,
Joker.
he's some guy that we don't know. He's like
Yes.
he's not Jack Napier. He's not
Right.
Arthur Fleck. He's
Right.
just this dude that something happened to him. Maybe this happened, but what Joker says in the book is, I remember it differently at different times. I like to
Yes.
have it as a multiple choice. That's why Heath Ledger has different origins in the
Nailed
Dark
it in
Knight.
The Dark Knight. Always lying.
Yeah.
Always lying about the scars. He was going to tell it the 3rd time, but
He was,
Batman
yeah.
stopped him. No, but I know he got these. Knew a man a long time ago who was on the CEO of an oil company called Halliburton. But one day, he started a proxy war with Afghanistan. That day was 9/11. And you're going, what did they have to do with the attacks? That's the secret. Well, why
911.
didn't they stop him? Well, that's the point. He had Colin Powell there because some men don't want to get revenge on things like 9/11. Some men just want to get billions of dollars worth of the CEO of Halliburton. Open your third eye, sheeple.
Gumdrop boy!
Not my gumdrop buttons! No, not my daughter! Not my gumdrop Barbara!
Do you know
Bro, stop by the book! Do you know the Muffin Man?
you do
You know the
Gigi.
Muffin Man. It doesn't really have an identity, and it doesn't really matter. More matters what characters he puts to the test and how they respond to it. In The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent failed.
Yeah.
In this, Jim Gordon passed.
Yeah.
And the
I
Dark
I wasn't expecting him to, because
Yeah.
you had told me like that was the crux of the issue
Yeah.
of him, if he's going
Trying
to
to
go the
make
dark
him
side or
crazy.
not. And I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, how did they flip Gordon? So I'm glad that they didn't, because I feel like that's only the one true character in every fucking universe
Person
that
Batman
is
trusts.
Gordon is.
true to himself
Mm-hmm.
and never fucking crosses that line.
You're reading. You're learning.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Joker is almost like the personality of like an addict in this. Like
Yeah.
he's very
He
like
can't stop.
he's
Batman wants him to stop, but he
yeah,
can't.
and he's like, and
I
he
like
won't
that.
accept the help, like the hands there, and he's like, I'd rather fucking never do that than grab your hand and get me out of this, because then he talks about it, he's like, lock away the bad memories and like you don't have to deal with it, and then he's like, he has the quote like, madness is the emergency exit.
Right.
And I like, oh, that just like hit me so wrong, but right. Like I was
What
just
does that
like,
mean to
ooh.
you? Madness is the emergency.
Because if you're dealing with bullshit, like in this version, his wife died and that was tragic. She was pregnant, all that stuff. And then like, so it's almost like his coping mechanism, I suppose,
Yeah.
to lean into the madness. And then it gives him an excuse of like why he's being that way. Cause I think that he started off as like a good guy wanting the best, right? Like in all those like black and white flashbacks. And then he like
Trying
has
to make
this
it as a
terrible
comedian.
Yeah.
bad day, right? Happen and
prove
then
a point.
and then he completely like falls into the dark and is like, yeah, like you don't have to deal with it if you just become crazy.
I wouldn't do that. Remembering the past is such a worrying, anxious place.
I love
past tense, I
past
suppose,
tense,
is why you'd
yeah.
call it.
I love the coping mechanism point too, because I mean we've seen that in frankly the last 2 episodes we did. That was what
Yeah.
Scott Free did. That's what Harry Osborn did. I mean, this is
Yeah.
when you're dealing with such horrible trauma.
yeah, and you can't face
Fear.
like you never have
Fear.
to face it. You never have to face
well,
it. If you just
face
do
everything
this.
and rise or run. Joker runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't rise.
Yeah,
like you said.
which is weird because like normally I would be like, oh, that's like cowardly, but it's on
He's-
some degree like understandable. Almost.
I think in the Dark Knight, the only time he
makes
gets
him
upset is
more-
when someone calls him crazy.
Do you think Batman
Yeah.
runs, or do you think
I don't think
Batman runs or
he's-
rises?
rises?
You think because in a way he's rising
Well, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
he's ridding
Overall, I'd say rise. but
Yeah,
there
and
are
is
times-
this really the healthiest way for him to be processing his
No.
trauma? I
No.
mean, to be taking a teenager out on this crusade with
Not-
him.
No,
Yeah,
but
Evan.
that I feel like he wants to be punished.
He
Like
did
he
say
knows
to-
he's
yeah.
doing bad, and that's why like
The
towards
Joker?
the
Mask
end,
of
yeah.
yeah. It also shows the point of not being alone when you go through trauma. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Well, who picked her up? That's
Yeah.
what. Would you rather be Batman or the Joker? There,
Like,
Batman
exact-
made her life gave her life meaning with the Oracle position.
yeah, and,
Joker
and
is
Batman
fucking
had
up Harley
Alfred to pick
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Scott had Barda.
Queen. Yeah.
So Joker's person is Batman.
no, Joker has no one because he's chosen the evil side.
I know, but I feel like Batman's always there for him. So.
Yeah, he's there for him to pick
Which
beat
is
him up,
crazy
yeah.
Yeah.
because, like, if your biggest foe is still trying to help you, then
What's that?
That's
Joker
right.
had no one, so like
Yeah.
there was no. His wife maybe died.
Yeah.
He was alone
Probably
in the
why he
world when
became
this
a
happened to
comedian.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough life, look at him like a Richard Pryor character, or just having nothing. Then he tries to become a comic, not working. Wife died.
Mm-hmm.
Then this happens, and he's trying to find a way. The Batman thing, him being there, always felt like a way to blame his misdeeds on everyone else.
Yeah.
I could
Kind
look
of
at it.
reminded me of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker because
With Murray?
yeah,
Yeah. In what
because
way?
he's trying to be a comedian in that too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we see the full thing of
It's
that.
your husband, man.
And then
He's
the
dead.
chick that was his support was kind of
Yeah, his mother?
fugazi. No, the girl that's in it, his like love interest in
But
it.
that was
Oh,
she
so
wasn't
she's
even, she
not
wasn't even real. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, that's
Right,
what I'm saying.
right,
Like
right.
he literally has to fucking make up people to be on
And
his
he
side.
learns the wrong lesson in that, which is degrade further into lone wolfedness and become an
Yeah,
isolated
well,
part
that's
of
the thing.
society.
You get to
Yeah.
a choice where you have to choose, and then
Yeah.
sometimes in
Killing
different
is making a
comics-
choice.
Yeah, yeah,
Not saving one life or another. Batman saves his own life by not killing,
yeah.
because you will never come back from that place, as they said in Under the Red.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting because why in some comics do they let Joker actually kill people like brutally? What was the one that we read with the love
Dark Knight
boat?
Returns. Dark
Yeah,
Knight Returns.
Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah,
Returns,
yeah,
comes back,
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
He
It's
didn't have
weird.
to kill a lot of people in this
Is
one.
it
He
like
just
the
had to-
writer that's
Well,
choosing this?
what are you asking?
You mean like
Like-
how he gives the smile instead of just flat out murder? Like
No, but I mean like.
Why does he kill
I
in
don't
that one
know.
and not this one?
I feel like he's just portrayed certain degrees of evil within each
Yeah.
comic, and like this one was like bad, but more so bad internally.
Well, that's why. It's like why you don't have Spider-Man swinging at every Marvel show.
Yeah,
because you have to
like,
figure out whose
so-
story you're telling and what kind of story you're telling. In The Dark Knight Returns, the point had to be proven that, with Batman coming back, he woke up the beast and
Yeah,
he's not going
so
to stop
he's-
killing,
it's-
so I have to kill him. With this, the point was, I have to fuck up Jim Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the equivalent to him killing
So
15
it's basically
characters.
just like I guess the storyline and
Yeah,
what
it's the writer.
characters
I mean,
involved
yeah.
and like who wants to
Yeah,
tell
like,
what
we-
story.
We
Yeah.
talked about how in All-Star Superman, it's a great interpretation of Superman by Grant
Yeah.
Morrison. But in Dark Knight Returns, where Frank Miller's writing
Yeah.
Superman comes off as the freaking asshole.
It's
Yeah,
Stan Lee said,
so
if
it's
it's the Hulk versus
basically-
the Thing, who wins? Well, it's whoever the writer is.
Yeah.
So okay.
And I take 80.
I take 80,
Half day for Stan. Hey, Jack, tell me about those DC characters you're working on.
I'm writing that down. I love hearing you ask questions like that.
Yeah,
though, because it
absolutely.
makes
Well,
me-
because then I wonder, like, what is the through line? Because there's so many versions over like decades of
Right.
the same character.
That's
And
why this
I feel
is-
like you want to pay homage and you want to do your due diligence and like have
Yeah.
respect for certain like storylines.
This is a
But,
Joker
like some
book.
people kind of like go like left field.
That's why this is revered the way it is. Like this
Yeah,
book is like,
like,
so
this
the
was-
Joker well done. He's
This
always
is-
going to be evil.
And apparently
Yeah.
Moore didn't want to write. Apparently this was the artist's idea to create this story. And the artist was like, I need to bring in the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
And who am I
Wow.
going to bring in? The guy who created
'Cause
the
it was
greatest graphic
really-
novel of all
And
time.
they did Dark Knight Returns it with doing more sequels that just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
That's just Frank
this is
Miller's
the-
MO, just
Yeah.
creating terrible sequels.
Yeah. The last Ronin books are not great. The sequels.
The sequel to Sin City. I mean, I know the
Yeah.
Sin City book is kind of iffy, but the Sin City movie's awesome.
Yeah, it
the
is
sequel
really
to Sin
good. I
City,
liked it.
that's
Now-
a great one,
Yeah.
right?
As
Yeah.
someone who saw The Dark Knight a bunch of times and now I've read this, did it change any of your interpretation of Joker or Batman?
Not really. Well,
It just
I feel
informed,
like it was the
informed it,
most-
maybe, right?
It was it was the most like parallel to that movie. Like I feel like he, I don't know,
Because
like
he wouldn't kill.
yeah, I like that part because
Believe it?
Batman's like
Sorry,
that.
right side.
To get what?
Hey Joe, could you bring a
Picking up
I'll
pasta.
send you cash.
Your
Could you
little
bring us
head
some
came in.
beers? Beer night, baby.
Yeah.
Beer. Get like a 12 pack.
I got pasta for you and me. Did anyone else want pasta? I didn't order it.
No, I'm good.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Anyone want pasta? I can order it right
Well, we'll get food after. I'll
Yeah,
get food.
I
usually
might
get
grab
that
a
food
slice
for-
after or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy Troy hooks us
I'll
up.
take care of him after. Don't worry about it.
now. Well, I'm starving. So I'm gonna go.
Go,
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Sorry,
You
this
get
took
that.
forever. You have your key. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Nice.
But compared to Dark Knight to this, you say about the same because he wouldn't kill in that, although he
Yeah,
almost
I
did.
don't- yeah,
but
that's-
Alfred stopped him in that more than Gordon. Class dismissed.
Imagine a gay Joker.